Hello, great people. More facts have emerged about the behind-the-scene politics that inspired the president to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. If the information in public domain, if the picture that have been flying all around social media is anything to go by, then it's safe to assert that the president literally handed over Rivers State to Nyesom Wike. What would have made the president to take this kind of decision? What is the role of Nyesom Wike in the president's life? How did Nyesom Wike become so important? What is the political calculation that the president is trying to make, and how can this backfire? What is the implication of this for Nigeria's democracy and the dynamics towards 2027? We'll be dissecting this and a whole lot more on this episode with your show plug, Dr. Omoshola. If you are yet to subscribe, of course, do well to subscribe to this channel. Now let us dive into this issue. The president, from his action, literally hand over Rivers State to Nyesom Wike. Does this come to you as a surprise? Well, to me, it doesn't come as a surprise because all along, if you look at the president, his action, his reaction has always tilted towards favoring Nyesom Wike. And you will recall that the president himself is a godfather. So he lacks the moral understanding of what it takes to lose a state, of what it takes for democracy to play out in the true sense of democracy in a state, and is perhaps, should we call it a payback for the abracadabra that happened in Rivers State during the 2023 presidential election, where Nyesom Wike rolled out his political machinery to favor President Bola Tinubu. And is Bola Tinubu thinking of repeating such script in Rivers State and the Niger Delta at large and trying to keep Nyesom Wike? But then, as they say, the future is pregnant and a lot of things will be unfold in the coming days. But one thing is very important, which is that why is President Bola Tinubu trying to sacrifice anything sacrificable to keep Nyesom Wike? And I will come to the dynamics of that in a moment, but I need to touch on this, which is that, you see, the history of precedents in Nigeria. People are saying that, oh, Tinubu is right to declare a state of emergency because the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, declared a state of emergency in Plateau State. He declared it in Ekiti State. And Goodluck Jonathan declared it in other states as well. But one thing I can tell you, let us do some historical calculation here. When Obasanjo was the president, if you are a fan of Bola Tinubu, because Bola Tinubu was in the opposition, you wouldn't like Obasanjo. If you like Obasanjo at that time, you perhaps won't like Bola Tinubu. When Obasanjo did it and everything sailed through for him, you were complaining. If you are supporting Obasanjo, you were hailing him. You are forgetting that a bad precedent has been set. So you are forgetting that tomorrow you would have a president that you would not like. If you like Obasanjo at that time, you are forgetting that a Tinubu will come one day that you won't like him. And a bad precedent that have been set, it's easy for the president to follow suit. Now, you have a president in Bola Tinubu that you don't like. Now, he is copying the template of Obasanjo, something that have happened so many years ago. And that is why it is not good to always lay a bad precedence. And for some of you that are hailing Bola Tinubu today, that, oh yes, he did the right thing. You can, I'm suspending sitting governor who is carrying the mandate of the people in a democracy. I have a word for you. Tomorrow, you will have a president that you don't like. And that president will again copy the template of Bola Tinubu. By that time, I hope that you won't be wailing at that point in time. So for me, I think that it is okay for us to find a just democracy in Nigeria, because this is what can bring development. Now, let us go back into this issue. You see, bad precedence is something that is very important that a nation must always try to avoid. On this Rivers State issue, there will always be crisis in one state or the other. Now, let us look at this thing. Bola Tinubu is trying to present himself as a strong president, and he's carrying his political, loyalists, his political ally along, the likes of Nyesom Wike. Nyesom Wike now is feeling like, a big boy. He's feeling like a winner. He's feeling like a superstar that either which way Fubara is out. But what I can tell you is that if this is allowed to sail through, then other states will be at risk, because now, and if crisis happen in any state or if the crisis is even instigated, like in Osun State now, whereby the APC, the president's cousin, was trying to kind of like install the sacked local government chairman. If the crisis had, festered on for long, that means that the president can also sack Ademola Adeleke of Osun State. So you want to ask yourself the role of democracy. And one thing for the president himself, there is crisis in Rivers State. You are part of the Nadeko chieftain at that time. You ran into exile for democracy to be reinstated in Nigeria. You are fighting the military. Now you are the president of Nigeria, and there is a crisis in a state. You decide to invite the military by your own hand. You carry your hand, jeje, where the military is seated. You decide to invite them into democracy. We call it military intervention in politics. You sack Fubara, you invade the Rivers State government house with the military. Now, what you don't know is that it doesn't portray you as a true Democrat for you to decide to invite the military into the affairs of Rivers State. So where is all this, military must go. We don't want the military. If anything happen in Rivers State, you decide to invite the military. And is there no other civilian? Is there no other person that is not of a military background that you can even put there as a sole administrator? If the needs be that you must install a sole administrator, the question is there nobody that is of civilian background that you can put there? Then why invade Rivers State government house with the military when you can use the police, when you can use the DSS? Why the military? Must it be the military? Is the situation in Rivers State more than what the Nigerian police force can handle? The combination of the Nigerian police, the DSS, the civil defense, a combination of the three of them, is it more than what they can handle? Must you invade Rivers State House of Assembly with the military? Why not push those military to go and be securing the oil asset? Why put them in Rivers State government house? So that means that you are inviting military into democracy by yourself. The question is, the day you will mess up, what will now happen? You are indirectly telling the military to also come for you. So at that time, you may not even invite them because the military would have been emboldened. They would have felt that they have a special place in a democracy, and at the end of the day, they can also come for you. So Bola Tinubu should be aware of the kind of decision that is taken, because what goes around comes around. Now let us go back to Nyesom Wike. For me, I think retaining Nyesom Wike as the Minister of FCT is one of the unjust things that the president would have ever done in his presidency. And I will explain it to you. Nyesom Wike is part of the people that are the principal actors in the crisis in Rivers State. The Martin Amewule-led House of Assembly is loyal to him. You sack Fubara. You made Fubara vulnerable. You put Fubara at the losing end. And the major actor on the other side, you decide not to touch him. You decide to leave him. Now, Nyesom Wike is retaining his position as Minister of FCT. He's still in power, while Fubara has been sacked from power. Now, you said, against the wishes of the Constitution, that the laws of Rivers State will be made at the Federal Executive Council. You have eroded the power of the National Assembly. Whenever there is a state of emergency, it is the National Assembly that will make law for that state. But on Nyesom Wike now still has money, power, influence. These three things is important for you to have your way in the political circle. Money, power, influence. You have put Nyesom Wike in a position whereby he still has the money, he still has the power, and he still has the influence. And as reported in the media, the man that you appointed as the sole administrator of Rivers State is reportedly the naval godfather of Nyesom Wike, and you would have seen the pictures flying all over the media space. Then you want to ask yourself that even if you want to play the game that you don't want Fubara there, why not find somebody that there will be no trace of his alliance or relationship with Nyesom Wike? Like I said, what you are doing is setting a bad precedent, because tomorrow another president will come and he will do the same thing, and by then the supporters of APC will not be shouting, will not be screaming. What can favor a country if not a just and equitable society? So leaving Nyesom Wike in a position of power and authority, I think it is great injustice on the part of the president. I think it is presidential immaturity on the part of the presidency to have choose to retain Nyesom Wike, I think that it would have been just for the president to sack Nyesom Wike as well. Because if you look at it, Nyesom Wike will sit at the Federal Executive Council meeting. Now, the president has said that laws will be made at the Federal Executive Council meeting. Assuming but not considered, even if laws are not made at the Federal Executive Council meeting, if the president now, retraces error and decide to say, okay, the National Assembly, you are the one that has the right to be making laws. Have you forgotten that this Vice Admiral Ibas, the retired Vice Admiral Ibas, will be sitting down with Nyesom Wike at the Federal Executive Council meeting? Because at the Federal Executive Council meeting, the governors will be there. So this sole administrator will be there to represent Rivers State. So you can imagine, and even if you now want to do it, is it that you cannot find somebody neutral from Rivers State? Because according to the name of that man is obviously from, I think, Akwa Ibom. You decide to pick somebody that is not from Rivers State to come and govern Rivers State in a democracy. So why can't you find a neutral person that is not on the Wike, that is not on the Wike side, that is not on the Fubara side, so that Rivers State will know that they are being represented in a democracy by one of their own? When other people from when governors of other states are representing their state, their original ancestral state, Rivers State will be represented by a non-Rivers indigene in a democracy, not in a military regime. So you can see that the way the president has done this thing leaves so much to be desired. And at the end of the day, the president is missing a point. He is kind of like romancing Nyesom Wike and not meeting up with the needs of Nigerians, the public rating of the president. If we are to conduct a proper opinion poll, if a free and fair election is done today, definitely the president may not be able to win or may not garner enough vote as he garnered in 2023. So the president is losing out on the public side and is just embracing Nyesom Wike. Nyesom Wike, you need to be popular. Even if you want to do some abracadabra during the election, you need to be a popular candidate. I hope that the president will be able to retrace his step, because it is not too late. And as they say, it is better than never. May the best happen to Rivers State, and I hope that going forward we'll begin to have a democracy that we can truly proud of, the true representation of the people, and we'll have the development that is supposed to accompany a democracy as we have in other countries of the world. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omosoladeji. Do want to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course I have great interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.